Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Do We Know Them? Episode 195. We're so close.
Bitch, if you don't start editing that 200 special, we're gonna be
okay,
screwed.
So I already started looking through, and I do have some ideas. Also, shout out to the person, I don't remember their name, I'm so sorry, but who told me about the website that you can search through, like, all of a channel's videos through the transcripts.
Shut the fuck up. That's amazing.
I was like, you can do that? Do you know how long it took me to do the Christy Carlson Romano compilation?
I don't want to know, actually, but I'm sure it was absurd.
Because also they spelled Christy wrong and it was just hard to find. But yeah, no, you can type in, I forget what it's called. It's like Filmmot, like film and then OT. And you can type in the channel and then type in a word and it looks up all of the transcripts.
Amazing.
And it gives it like all in one page.
Oh my
it has like the
God.
time codes to where it says it. It's amazing.
Honestly, the girlies are like a subscription. It's like an encyclopedia subscription that we have. Just get to tap into all their amazing brains whenever we want. Because let me tell you something, mine and Lily's last two brain cells are like rubbing together and not much is getting done.
Okay, no, filming our last episode was hard.
No, literally, I didn't even say this when we were filming last episode, but Dude, I figured out what was wrong with me. I was sick the entire day. Like, it felt like my equilibrium was off. It felt like I had vertigo. I had forgotten to take my antidepressants for like 4 days. And I just forgot. And I was like, I'm sad and
at least
dizzy.
you didn't
What's
have
happening?
the kind that gives you the brain zaps. Because let me tell you, that is not comfortable.
I just want to remind you guys, if you haven't taken your antidepressants,
Take them.
go and take it, girl.
Yeah.
I don't know what is wrong with me, but I was violently ill the second I took it. Like 30 minutes later, I was like, oh, I'm
You know
cured.
that's actually like the main reason I stopped taking mine is because I know that I'm not reliable enough to be taking it at the same time every day. And it was fucking with me too much because I can't stick to...
Oh my God. I didn't share super important news. I'm sorry. My brain is all over the place. I feel better today, so it's just working overtime. Guess what? You bitch.
What?
I can read the screen. Yeah, I'm wearing contacts.
Like, did you get LASIK?
Yeah.
That was fast.
I would never. No, honestly, bless everyone that's gotten LASIK. I'm terrified of it. I just know that I would be one of those people that get those like pains and then it's like the worst pain they've ever felt. And then like the suicide rates are up with that. With LASIK
I
patients.
had no idea.
People get like chronic pain from it. I will never do that, but I did go get contacts and I'm feeling pretty good.
See, I've worn contacts once in my entire life and it didn't go well.
Really?
It was for a Halloween episode of Clever.
Oh no, Halloween contacts are the worst. No, and these aren't perfect. Like there's some fit issues because of my astigmatism, as you know. It was confirmed. I do have double astigmatism, but that means that the contacts are way more annoying because they have to sit in the right spot. And if they shift, you're like all blurry. But I mean, the pros outweigh the cons because like I can see the screen right now and that's amazing.
Well, and sometimes I do struggle with reading out loud. So
I think you do need some glasses. We can start with some maybe reading glasses or something.
it's for far away. And definitely I have noticed when my neck positioning, like my posture very much affects my vision a lot because sometimes everything's totally clear. Also affects my voice sometimes too. I don't think that time it did.
Yeah.
But when I'm driving, I used to feel like I needed them a lot. But like sometimes I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? I don't need them. And then other times I'm like squinting and can't see anything.
Well, I was telling Lily this in New York. I was like, everybody needs glasses eventually. That's a thing. That's not misinformation. That's true. Your eyesight is just downhill. By the time you're 60, you need at least reading glasses.
Well, basically I do want glasses, but also I just like how they look. So I kind of just want to get them again.
Me
I
in
have
third grade. That's literally why I have glasses. I faked my vision test.
Oh my
God. It was bizarre. Isn't that so me though? Like, I feel like that's me coded. I was always, oh my God, this is so unhinged. But like, you never just hoped that you would like break a leg or something in school?
No, I never wanted to cast that badly.
Oh my God. I was so jealous. Anytime a bitch rolled in with some crutches, I was like, you lucky whorebag. I want to be you so bad.
Did you ever break anything?
I did it. I've never broken a bone
come true?
in my life. Never came true. I'm so sad. And like everyone's signing their cast. I'm like, oh, must be nice.
Oh my God, no, it's fucking miserable. I broke my arm snowboarding when I was like 16 and I like had fallen backwards and like just landed like right on it and just like slammed it into my wrist.
My God.
And it was like a fracture. It wasn't that bad. But,
severed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it wasn't like broken. But my friend's mom had to take me to the emergency room while we were like mammoth snowboarding. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And my mom is like, you did God. What? I'm like, I'm sorry. But yeah, it was miserable. And then I had to go back to school and it was my right arm and I couldn't write with it because the cast went over my wrist.
Come on. You got a lot of people interested in what was going on, huh?
No, it was annoying because I'm a big, not really anymore, but at the time, big knuckle cracker. Couldn't do that. And then also it gets itchy.
Yeah.
And I'd like be like sticking a pencil down it. And
Smelly
then it's just like
too, I've
gross.
heard.
And yeah.
Maybe it was, the grass isn't always greener on the other side, they say. So maybe it was for the best that I didn't break anything.
I had a friend in 8th grade and he was going downhill on a bike and flew over the handlebars and broke both of his arms. Full arm cast. Like not like I had like a little wrist one. He had fucking
too far.
full, like he was like literally had to sit like this. And I just remember specifically he was in my math class and our math teacher had to like dictate what to do for the test, like to take tests. She would be writing, but he would be dictating. And it was so funny because he would be getting stuff wrong. And I just remember her sitting there being like, and she'd like look away and be like, someone help him.
Oh my God.
He'd be like, oh yeah, like this plus this. And she's like, no, that's not right. I feel like that'd be torture.
Yeah, I think there's a fine line between you're slaying and everybody's worried about you just the right amount, you're signing, and then full body cast. I think that's embarrassing, to be honest. Oh my God. Speaking of embarrassing, you know what story we didn't tell in the last episode? I swear, after this, we'll get started. What story could we have been missing from New York? The bikes. We were trying to take the billboard picture.
Oh my God. I was like, I don't know.
Guys,
am I just desensitized?
There was such a Lily and Jessi coded moment when we were trying to take a picture in front of the billboard. It was awful.
I feel like because I also have my other story. There was a few things that happened because basically the logistics of this billboard were that there are 6 other creators in addition to us that all get cycled through. I think we might have explained this before, but that it was like in between the Patreon creators. Then there was also other ads. So it would be like Patreon creator, ad, other Patreon creator, ad. So we were coming up like every like 7 or so minutes, which presented a few issues. Mostly just like you also had to get the pictures really fast because it's like up for 10 seconds. So you don't have a lot of variety that you can be like doing different poses and stuff. So you needed to like know what you were going to do.
In the words of my dad when he first saw it, he literally paused and just looked at me and goes, "That was quick." I was like, oh, okay. Well, fuck you too. Where's your billboard?
All right. But yeah, so when we were getting all prepped to do it, we had like figured like I was going to be taking a selfie, so we get those pictures, but then her brother was going to take pictures of us like while we were doing the selfie, but then also like immediately I'd put my phone down and then he would get pictures of us just like posing with it. So we eventually did get that. Although it's funny, someone called out in your picture. It was like, what's wrong with Lily's arm?
What was wrong with your arm? Oh, were you putting the phone down?
I was trying to like swiftly put my phone in my pocket, but I missed my pocket so that it was just like awkwardly like, shit, like what do I do?
It was the best we had, okay?
But no, before that successful round of photos though, the setup, we were like against kind of like a barrier, and then there was like a little piece of road and there was like some cars that were going on it, but it wasn't super busy. But right as the billboard changes, there was like a golf cart situation, like with a...
No, okay, it was 2 bikes, but like one of the bikes had, so if you go to New York, like you'll see people, back in my day, I thought that they only sold this in like Chinatown, like the fake purses, because that's how it works. You go to Canal Street and you buy the purses. Now they go with these like black containers that have a yellow top. They all have the same thing. And they just jam the purses in there and set up for the day. So it was one of the guys who had that tied to his truck. So he was taking up quite some room.
Yeah.
And then there was like this like prepubescent child on a bike. And as we were going to take our photo, they both come. A car comes and Lee and Lily are just in the way. Like we are just in the way, and I abandoned ship so quickly. We don't have a video, but we do have a like live photo. You literally see me just like running away. My face is just horrified. Lily just decides to hide in place.
Yeah, I was like, I just like shut down. I was like, oh no. So I'm like literally going like this. I'm like, oh no.
Literally, my brain catastrophizes so much that I didn't even, because I can't look at the people that I'm so close to. So I didn't even look at who was crossing. I was just sure that we were being arrested. And I was like, I need to go. And we need to say that we're not like, we weren't breaking a law, and it really wasn't like a through traffic road.
No, we weren't very even deserted. Really in the way.
Weird.
We were like very much like leaning against the thing, and it just like was the worst
horrifying
moment.
And then I just started thinking like they must think we're such dicks, because like if they were to look up and like we're taking pictures and that's us on that, like they must just think we're awful and taking up room. And then my brother just like awkwardly stayed in the middle of the street. It was a time.
But then also, the night before, I had gotten there with my mom, and we went over and we were like waiting, and we had like timed it so we figure out like when it was coming. So we had like caught like the tail end of one of them, and then we were waiting for the next one. Right as it goes, I'm like going to take a selfie, and these 3 guys come up to us, and they are wasted. Well, actually 2 out of 3 of them are. I felt really bad for the 3rd guy because I was like, I've been you before. He kept giving me that look like, Oh, I'm so sorry. I wish there was something I could do. But no, his friend was very vocally the drunkest. And he comes up to me while I'm taking the selfie, which again, I only have 10 seconds to be doing. So I'm like, why are you interrupting me right now? This is the worst possible time. I didn't want to stay here another 7 minutes. But anyway, he comes up and he's like, can I take a picture with you? And I'm like, you just ruined
not even related to knowing you or the fact that you were on the billboard. Just like
just complete
a drunk
stranger,
guy wanting to take a photo.
Absolutely. And I don't remember what I said, but I basically was like, oh, well, I was trying to take a picture with myself on the, and then one of the other ones says, you're on the billboard. And then they're both like just freaking out. The other one is like just kind of being like quiet in the background. And the drunkest one is like, wait, that's you? Are you famous? And I'm like, and even my mom's like, I'm like, okay. Well, I mean, like, no, but like, I feel like an asshole. How do you answer this? My mom and I started talking to them because they're clearly not going anywhere. And also now the billboard is gone. It has changed. So we have to wait another 7 minutes anyway. We're talking, we're like explaining. It was like, yeah, it's my podcast. He's like, well, how many views do you get?
Oh my God.
So I'm trying to explain things, but immediately they kind of lose interest and insist on telling me how they have a TikTok and how they've been traveling the country in an RV. And I'm like, cool. That's very nice. Not trying to be like, oh, I don't care about it. But I was like, you interrupted my picture. Now you're just drunk and being really obnoxious.
Right.
They won't leave. And they keep talking to us. They have asked us probably 8 times, where are you guys from? And my mom's like, LA. We just told you that. And they're like, oh, yeah. Well, we're on a RV. And it's like, oh my God, I know. You just told us.
You just said that. Yeah.
So then one of them seems to like kind of forget about the billboard situation. And then when I'm like kind of trying to hurry them to like go away so I can take the next picture, he is reminded and he's like, well, wait, let's you and me take a picture with the billboard. And then he starts posing with me.
Not.
And I'm like, well,
absolutely not.
But I'm not on it right now. That's the whole point. That's why we're waiting. And he like he couldn't grasp the concept of like it was rotating to different people. And finally he is like, okay, well, I'll take a picture. You get in with your mom. So then finally it does change. He can't get his shit together. He drops my phone.
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, oh, okay. Then he like pulls it back up. He says he got it. He's like, okay, I got it. And we like look back, it has changed. And I'm like, did you get it though? And then he's like, well, let's get another one. And I'm like, I'm not on it anymore. What don't you get? So then I will show you the live photo I have now from after that, where it's me, like I look like a camp counselor, like a teacher being like, okay, let's wrap it up. Like, give me the phone.
Enough is enough.
And
stop it.
And then I get the phone back and I look, and while eventually I did look that apparently it had caught it at the very beginning of the live photo, the one I looked at, I was like, it's not on the billboard. Like that wasn't, you waited too long. And he's like,
I'm dead.
Oh, darn, really? Well, I can take another, give it to me. I'm like, I'm not on
it's in 7 minutes.
Do you not get that?
That was the worst part, is like when you can't get the picture, you have to just let the whole cycle play
and then
through.
You're just kind of like awkwardly
okay, the toast, there's 2 guys, and then it's us.
Oh my God. Actually though, it's like also so funny that these pictures that I didn't know how to share them, and I didn't want it to seem like we were like ungrateful, but I wanted to post these and be like, when you're on a billboard, but it's only every 7 minutes for 10 seconds. Because it's you and me just being like,
oh my God, I know the picture. Yeah, well, because we didn't want to like draw attention to ourselves and just be like posing for 7, obviously, like that's so awkward. Yeah. But also it was like a slow realization. And I mean, we didn't have to pay for anything. To be on the billboard at all is absolutely fucking amazing. Yeah. We are so grateful. But it is so funny because we had several steps of like realization where at first we thought it was just like us and the 7 creators being cycled. Then we're like, oh, there's like a few more things.
Maybe they added on more people.
Then our Patreon manager went out and he's like, I was there for an hour and you guys weren't on there. We're like,
that was like, I guess before we had really been like woven into the cycle. So now it's like every 7 minutes.
Now it's every 7 minutes. But, so if you go to Times Square above the Olive Garden by the Book of Mormon, that's where we are. And every 7 minutes we will pop up. Yeah. The toast, 2 guys, then it's our Patreon. I just felt like that one moment really just is us. Like it's just us, and I would expect no less. But anyway, okay, that was a long intro, but fun times.
I know, but I'm just really excited because I wanted to share a lot of those candid photos somehow, and it just like didn't.
Here they go.
I didn't have the context to do it.
Here it is. Perfect. So we do have 2 topics allegedly. We'll see if we can get to them. Do you want to cover scammy pajamas, or do you want to cover Molly Rutter crashing out on the internet?
Oh, I kind of want to do that one.
Really?
Yeah, I did enjoy the last one.
Well, out don't know if this will change your mind or not, but it is her kind of crashing out after the election results. Like, it's a political conversation and her talking about how she's going to be more political, but then also her talking about how the election results affect her dating life. And it's, it's just a lot. So I don't know if you still want to cover that one first. Did it change you? Yeah, I know. Scammy Pajamas is a fun old time, in my opinion.
Okay, if I prefer fun and not depressing.
Listen, I agree. And we come here to disassociate. That's what we come here to do. We're gathered here today to disassociate. Okay, the Bachman sisters.
The Bachmans.
We're back again with Cecily and Samantha. Do you remember them, guys?
Yeah, what were they from the hurricane?
From the hurricane. They went to Disney and then they were like, oops, we want to go home. Sorry, we went to Disney. Let's shift to Cecily, blah, blah, blah. I will not learn her name. Cecily
Bachman.
Cecily Bachman. Oh, you have to say British, yeah. Cecily and Samantha Bachman on our way to Florida with a peace sign when Milton is ready to ram everybody in its wake. Like, what are you talking about? She then posted, I think I got 3 to 5 hours of sleep. No reason, just couldn't sleep. And then I cried because I was afraid of being tired. What the fuck?
Are you on? Literally, the amount of people I saw that were literally crying, being like, I haven't slept in 3 days because I'm scared that my house is gonna float away.
But you know what's scarier than any of that? Being tired. Am I right? Bitch, if I was scared of being tired, my life would be ruined. I'd literally be in fear constantly.
I'm in a constant state of terror.
She does apologize because this was a rapid decline. Okay, people came. Now, I don't know a bunch of the lore of her sister, but I do know her sister was along for the trip and she's also an influencer. And
she might have also been scared and tired.
Everybody, it's scary. So like, we can't blame them. And we covered them because of that. But it turns out they have their own little drama. I think that their circle of people that they have online are like the stay-at-home moms who like the aesthetic of like a Stanley Cup with like lotion on the side. Like, that's the vibe it's giving. It's not stay-at-home mom with a shit bun who smells like ass because you haven't showered in 3 days. Been there.
No, it's like phone oven.
Yeah, it's literally just like the aesthetically pleasing rich mom. That's her audience. And I mean, they do have an audience. Cecily has 2.2 million followers and Samantha has 572,000. So
those bitches love the Stanley Cups. I told you they have like limits on how many you can buy at Target and they wait outside like they're buying concert tickets.
I'll never get it. And I mean, power to you. A cup is not hurting anyone.
Like it's as if it's like the new iPhone coming out. And I'm like, it's a cup. Yeah. You already have 10.
Well, that's what makes this all interesting though, is because that is their aesthetic and like they are very much not hiding the fact that they are rich as fuck.
Consumerism at its finest.
Literally. And they came out with a pajama line. It's all Christmas pajamas, Christmas t-shirts, things like that, where you can match with your whole family. So that was the whole point of it.
I do love a Christmas moment.
Target does that. Old Navy does that. Like the whole family, you want to get everything matching, whatever. Now, the problem comes from when people went on their website, which is For the Mems. And I don't know if that's like moms with an accent. For the Mems? But
no,
I don't know
like
the lore there.
For the memories.
Oh. You're joking.
You dumb fuck.
You're joking. Is that common knowledge or did you also think it was moms with an accent? That's embarrassing.
No, I definitely read that and thought memories.
For the memes. I was like, okay, moms in like Scottish.
Yeah, I was going to say, what accent would that be?
For the memes. So they came out with pajamas. And when people clicked on their website when it first launched, they realized, wow, a single pair of women's pajamas was $98. Doll hairs, USD. Thoughts and prayers?
What are they made of? Just because it's like, I mean, I wouldn't pay $98 for pajamas. Don't get me wrong. I think that's crazy, but that's not like unheard of.
Okay. That's interesting that you went for that because it makes sense though. You're like super into like airy stuff, which is like $60 for a hoodie or something like that, $70. But
they're always on sale.
They are always on sale, but also the material, I mean, is incredible. And I could speak for American Eagle stuff. If you buy a shirt or anything from them, it's going to last you literally forever. Like
I'm
that's
wearing
not
one
going to
right
break.
now.
Yeah. So let's look at the material first. There was an order we were going to go in, but now we're changing it up, which I think makes sense because if it's going to be so expensive, you better be charging because it's such an expensive material.
Exactly. Better be fucking nice pajamas. Because also when I think back to like the Halloween ones we wore, I feel like that was like $40 for that. And it was like fucking...
I could not wait
like paper
to get that out of my sight.
Yeah, I know.
They like literally felt
It was like
so
not paper because it was like the satiny material, but it was like so thin and cheap, and it just like felt like it was nothing. And at least $45, I think.
They were actually $30, but honestly, still absurd.
So they have different descriptions for their products, but the women's pajamas in particular says this set is soft and luxurious. The fabric is comfortable to sleep in and will be wearable throughout your holiday celebrations. You will love the way it feels against your skin. You won't want to take it off. If in between sizes, size down, yada, 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 it's 93% rayon, 7% spandex. And if you do some digging, rayon is one of the more affordable fabrics available to people who make clothes.
What would something like, what do they look like?
Well, do you want to see them model it?
Sure.
So the husband's wearing the t-shirts and then they're like darker pajamas. So it's a little bit harder to see, but it's like the long pajamas. Here, I'll show you this one. You see how they're both wearing like long sleeve, regular pajamas. Seems like Old Navy vibes.
Yeah, they kind of are giving Amazon.
They are giving Amazon, yeah. And when you consider that these are not bamboo, which if I was going to pay $98 for pajamas, which I wouldn't, but if I was, it would need to be bamboo. Like, you know, those like kids pajamas that are the softest fabric that no matter how many times you wash them, well, you probably don't, but like no matter how many times you wash them.
Honestly, the only reason I know that bamboo is even a thing for pajamas is because of that lady that got canceled because of
Kite's baby. Yeah, that's right.
Kite baby, yeah.
Bamboo is honestly the softest, most durable fabric I have personally ever experienced in owning. And like that would make sense if an adult size pajama that was going to last you years and years to come and would never lose integrity, that would make sense to me. But if you're going to use a fabric like spandex and rayon, like, no.
Well, and to be honest, when I'm looking at stuff and see the price, I'm not like, what's it made? Like, I don't look at the material, but I just like am looking
at the vibe.
Yeah, I was like, what is it? Does it look like it would be, you know, which is probably a bad way to base buying things, but like they don't look super luxurious. No.
They are giving exactly what Old Navy can give, Target can give, Walmart even sells matching pajamas. And as it is, if you're buying it, so like I have 2 kids and a husband. So that's 4 sets of pajamas. Some people were even searching on TikTok what it would be like to get for their family of 4 or 5, and it was in the $400 range. Like, that's fucking crazy. You're talking about a kid's onesie for $68, and it's not bamboo.
Okay, well, I was gonna say, are the kids' ones at least cheaper? Not much.
$78 for a boy's set. That's insane.
Because the tops are t-shirts. For those.
The tops are t-shirts, and interestingly enough, there is one top that is a different fabric. It says t-shirt 100% cotton. Due to a manufacturing error, this t-shirt will have a different material than the rest of the collection. And if you look at it,
so weird.
It is a Comfort Colors t-shirt. It actually says on the tag Comfort Colors. Do you know about Comfort Colors?
Yeah, they're like $20, aren't they?
If you're like doing Cricut business on your own and shit.
Yeah, that's literally what my witches or my girls will be girls, the witches one.
Yeah, Comfort Colors is like a huge, like if you have an Etsy shop and you press things, like you would use a Comfort Colors because it's affordable, but I do like it because they have like oversized options and it's not bad.
Yeah, but it's not like a $50 shirt.
No, and then it's not heavily discounted or anything as opposed to like the rest of the collection. I would be very curious to know, because it doesn't say it on the website, how they're actually printed on. I think obviously the full length pajamas are not heat vinyl on, you know what I mean? Like pressed on. They're not. They're obviously printed on, maybe screen printed. I don't fucking know. But I would be curious to see how they hold up. I did hear someone say that allegedly they were saying that the fabric was prone to shrinking. I don't know if that's true, but that would be ridiculous.
Amazon-esque.
Like one thing that pisses me off is like there's certain clothes that I'm like, okay, I'm buying, let's say like a coat. I'm not going to put my coat in the dryer. I'm not a dumbass. But I don't want to have to fucking air dry my pajamas for Christmas. Before we continue, we really quickly want to thank today's sponsor, and that's Factor.
You know what? I actually just had some Factor for lunch. Roasted garlic chicken.
Love that. Nice. How was it?
Phenomenal. If you're unfamiliar, Factor delivers fresh, never frozen meals straight to your doorstep, and I think they're delicious.
Not only are they reheated in only 2 minutes, but you can choose between 35 delicious meals every week and over 60 additional convenience options you can add to your box. So they have like keto cookies, pressed juices, smoothies.
I have some breakfasts coming next week.
Oh, love that. And they all have very good ingredients. They are dietitian approved, and in my opinion are super filling, and you just can't beat the convenience of having a meal that balanced, so readily available. It has saved my life. And they also do gourmet plus dishes that have like premium proteins and seasonal sides like broccolini and asparagus, truffle butter, filet mignon. Like, hello?
I've gotten that before. It's really good.
So if you guys want to try out Factor for yourself, you can head over to factormeals.com/GWKT50 and use code DWKT50 to get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month.
That's code DWKT50 at factormeals.com/GWKT50. DWKT50. And again, 50% off and then 20% off your next box. Great deal.
And thank you so much to Factor for being an amazing sponsor of this podcast.
Well, and when you look, I just for reference, because I'm thinking of like, I did just buy stuff from Aerie and it is like a little pricier, but it is really good quality.
Yeah.
I just looked up Target pajamas.
What's the vibe?
And women's holiday treats, print flannel. So sounds
warmer,
like heavier than
which I personally don't like, but yeah.
I love me a good flannel. Have you ever had flannel sheets?
I fucking hate them. It gives me the vibe of scratching a napkin, and I can't explain it further than that.
Oh no, I love it.
Sensory problems galore.
Same, but just not with that. Anyway, so it looks pretty much the same. It's $30. Honestly, I would have thought that it would be a little more. I was thinking like in the realm of like 20 for pants, 20 for top, but 30 is what Target is offering, which Target does shell out the deals.
So I think that when this dropped, though, there was like two camps. There was one camp of people that were like, who the fuck do you think you are charging $98 for pajamas? And then the other camp was people being like, it's not for you then. Like, if you don't get it, you don't get it. And like, if you can't afford it, don't be mad at the influencers that are setting a price. Now, in my opinion, I think that it could be a little bit of both. I think that it's safe to question things and just be like, hey, if it's quality materials, if it's things like bamboo or it's things that cost you a lot to produce it, then it's worth it. And the people that can afford it. And that's it. But when you're selling something that's of lower quality, even though they swear it's not, and we're going to get into all of that, then that's where I have an issue. And I feel like you're just trying to profit off of something that, yes, is a luxury. You don't need to match with your whole family for Christmas. Like, you won't die.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, the people that are like, then it's not for you. Yeah, it is. Like, I get it that her audience is people who admire that lifestyle and aesthetic of motherhood that personally I don't feel actually exists. But at the same time, they are depending on the average consumer and person that follows them to buy this product. Because if only a few people buy it, they're not going to profit off of this at all.
Yeah, which I just pulled up. It's not the same vibe at all, but there is an American Eagle plush cami PJ set. So it's a camisole, but it's pants too. $54.95.
Yeah.
So yeah, $98 feels very outside the normal market for PJ sets. And that's like, even if it was a nice PJ set, but it doesn't even look like it is. So it's like,
it's very basic. Yeah. Some people have been like, oh, it's cute. And it is cute.
Yeah, but like, if you could get it for $30 at Target, then.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it seems like the profit margins are probably pretty high.
Well, we'll get into that because I discussed that. But what I will say is that when they launched, their website, I guess, hadn't been published yet. It was like maybe like a coming soon situation. And someone guessed the fucking internet password, like the website password.
Oh my God.
They just guessed it. And the password was for the memes. I thought that was so funny. I'm like, you're joking. That's almost as stupid as something I would do. It says, I guessed the store password on first go. It is literally for the memes. Hire a better website designers, besties.
Oh my
God.
Like,
what? But then they launched. This was her launch video. They're just dancing everywhere. They have their whole family in the shirts, which I do have to say, the women's pajamas, like, I could get behind. The guys' shirts, I don't see.
What I was just going to say. The guys look like they're wearing like cheap merch,
like workout clothes material. Like it's also like so
not
thin.
thick enough. Yeah, I was gonna say it's like not thick enough. Like you can like see their nipples through the shirt.
Every guy that's entered this door, I've seen his nips. Yeah,
and they absolutely like put this on just for this video and then changed back out of it. The women's in this video, it does look like they're cute. But again, not $98.
I don't think that they look heinous or like it looks offensive and like they're trying to sell some bullshit that doesn't even fit right. Like it seems like cute holiday pajamas. Yeah. How cute do holiday pajamas have to be $100? Very cute.
Pretty fucking cute.
They don't fit that mark.
The bar's pretty high.
Yeah. So this was someone doing a like cart on what it would be like to get pajamas for a family of 5. $486. And I hope that includes free shipping, but I'm just not sure. Okay, standard shipping is free, 3 to 8 business days.
8 business. I'm sorry. Is it going on the Oregon Trail? Like.
A carrier pigeon bringing it.
I'm like, how does mail still take that long? Jesus. I think it's a little funny that people are doing like how much it would cost for a family of 5. Well, almost $500. They're like $100. Like it feels like a little
some people aren't that
mathematically
advanced, Lily. Okay. Jesus.
No, but it's more absurd to me that the children's ones cost so much. Like $78 for a t-shirt and some pants for a little boy. Like no.
I will admit, I am really bad with that. Like I can't bring myself. Well, with clothes in general, I can't bring myself to spend a ton of money.
Well, they also grow so much, don't they?
They grow so much. They grow so
Those
quickly.
Children, they just keep growing.
Yeah, and they also, like every piece of clothing that I've ever bought my kids, and I've never bought them an expensive piece of clothing, they just use it as a napkin.
Ruined.
And I'm like, well, fuck me. Like, what do I even, what's the point?
Well, and then, like, especially for the little boys, like, they're just white t-shirts.
So a lot of people did think that this was expensive, obviously. And some people commented it, not even trying to like call her out. This comment says, the PJs are cute. I wish they were more affordable though, with like crying faces, which is fine. You're just giving your opinion. And then she answered, thank you. We do have the option for shop pay on our website if that is something you want to choose. I love you, with a bunch of hearts. It's
Is
like
that
a
where you, like,
Klarna.
do it in, like, 4 payments?
It's like Afterpay. Yep. She's like, you can pay this in 5 easy installments.
It now. You could do it over the course of 3 months.
And actually, just a word of advice. And I know there's like all sorts of jokes and stuff on TikTok that are like, I don't care how much it is. If it's $10, if I can Afterpay it, I'm going to Afterpay it. But nothing hits harder than that Afterpay or Klarna bill when you are in shambles and you're like, oh my God, it's coming again. Don't do it, guys. Unless you're like well planned out and budgeted for it and it's not going to freak you out. But that shit sneaks up on you.
What you just described is like how I was living for months, where it was like, well, I guess I could use that for that. And but like, you borrow it.
It's shambles.
What's the saying? Like, rob Peter to pay Paul.
Yes. Oh my God. Period. I forgot what that was. Yeah.
Yeah, was always very down for that because like you're so desperate in the moment. But like, feels like pajamas aren't something you should be super desperate for.
So yeah, I think that there are situations where Afterpay, I mean, like for like furniture or something, and especially if it's like interest free, I do get the appeal of it. And honey, I've used it. Okay, I'm not better than anyone.
But it just feels like if you need to do that to get matching pajamas, then maybe you shouldn't be getting matching pajamas.
Don't do it. And she did comment this to multiple people. So there's like multiple comment examples of her just being like, we have shop pay. And I honestly appreciate her response. She's not being nasty. She's not being weird. And she is saying like, if that's something you want or choose. And I think she said to someone else, like, I don't know if it helps, but we do have shop pay. And I could appreciate that. Like, she wasn't being weird or being like, well, fuck you if you can't afford it. Like, that's other people that were speaking on her behalf and being like, if you can't afford it, it's not for you. And I'm like, okay, well, who's it for then?
Yeah, like that would have been a worse response, obviously.
Yeah. So again, the t-shirt that was having the manufacturing error, all that stuff was Comfort Colors. Do you know how much a Comfort Colors shirt costs on Amazon?
I said earlier 20, but I'm going to guess like 18.
I actually don't even, would it be that expensive? That seems kind of wild. Let's see.
I feel like I probably paid 30 for my which one.
Well, that had the heat press on it.
Exactly. So that was some manual labor.
The freaking shirt that I wore in my last episode, I think I paid like 40 something for it. And on the back, it says they didn't burn witches, they burned women. And so I really liked it and I wanted to get it. But when I received it, I was like, oh, this is shit. It's like shit quality. Like, I need to find a better seller. I definitely got it from TikTok shop and that was on me. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Okay.
They're $9.
Allegedly. Okay. Yeah, there's the proof.
They're $9.24.
Yep.
$9.84.
And this is for the youth. I'm not saying that the men's, but I think it is the youth size that had that whole issue. $10.
Yep.
And they're selling it for $80.
Well, plus the pants.
No.
I mean, it's not the shirt alone they're selling for $80.
Oh, I think it is.
No, it's the pants too. They're sets.
Oh, you're right. It is the pants. It is the
because
when you're right, you're freaking right. Am I right?
You're right.
Thank God I have you on this show. Anyway, what's crazy is that we're actually on the shirt that is controversial. Now, the front, not so much, right? It's just Santa Claus with a cookie and some milk. What's controversial?
Like, that's the back.
No, that's the front. Stop it.
No, look at the tag. You can see the tag thing. Or they're just really thin. But
what is it that, not to bring up the election, but what is it that like Trump said at the debate that he was just like, I didn't know you were going to fact check here or something like that. Literally me every episode. Like, stop doing that. I don't like it. Okay, well, whatever side this is, the other side is the controversial side.
It's the back.
Because look at this. Oh,
yeah,
it's the wrong shirt. It's not even the right shirt.
But I was right. It was.
I've had a lot of rosé tonight. Okay, let's find the problematic shirt because people made TikToks over it. So let's just give it a gander at what it was before they replaced the front with just a regular Santa Claus. It was Santa Claus in the front, and in the back, instead of just the logo, it says "Out here looking like a snack," and it's a little boy's shirt. So people were just like, a little bit gross. And our researcher pointed out that as a mom of 2 boys, she thinks that it would have been fine and cuter if the shirt just said "Out here looking for a snack." And I think that would have been cute too. I don't think that they meant anything PDF file about it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I'm not like, oh my God.
I don't think
there's
so.
like,
it was just an oversight.
A secret like swastika on it or something. Like, like toys.
Not the hidden swastika. Oh, Jesus.
No, but I feel like there's random toys that have like super sexual, like random things, or there will be like Disney things where it's like a recording of like a doll and it like says something and it like sounds really sexual or Like,
oh my God, you know what's actually really strange? Anecdotal evidence, but it is anecdotal evidence and it is pretty compelling to me. My kid's car, like they have like a little red Jeep. It's a generic, it's not even Jeep brand. It was just like a generic car that I can remote control them and they can like ride throughout the yard and stuff. One of the songs on it that's programmed, it's like one of 2 songs, is S&M by Rihanna. That's not okay. Like, what the fuck?
And that's even more obvious than the ones I was talking about. Like, the ones I'm talking about are like someone was fucking around at the factory. And
no,
like,
literally,
did this,
there is
like,
zero reason. And then, like, obviously,
No,
Amelie
that's
just
insane.
loves music. So then she presses the button. She's like, period. I'm like, oh my God. Literally, I may be bad, but I'm perfectly good at it. Ew, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's pretty wild. No, this, I feel like I get why people would think it's like, oh, interesting choice. But like, also,
I think it was an
I don't think it's
oversight.
the
I don't
end
think
of
it
the
was
world.
malicious.
Yeah.
So we will just skip towards the part where they address the backlash that they got and then we see what they decided to do to rectify this. Because obviously it was well known and it was like all over everywhere. $98 pajamas. Are you out of your mind? That was like the general discussion around this. Their caption says, "We love you all, SM," with the hand hearts.
Of course they use the hand hearts. Oh, P.S. Can we just take a moment to like, there were people that commented last time we talked about the hand hearts. I don't remember what episode it was because we always are like rolling our eyes because we say that you only
It's only ironically
like
used.
passive aggressively.
Not them using
Yeah,
it non-ironically. Let me guess.
No, there were people in our comments that were upset because they're like, wait, I use it seriously? And I was like, there are situations where you can use it seriously.
No, I'm just kidding. No, you probably could. If I were to receive a text from you and it had hand hearts, I would think it's ironic. But that's just because that's how I use it. Yeah, it's kind of
Exactly,
like there's certain emojis that people, and I mean, your friend group probably understands it better in your context than I would if I received a text. And it's fine. Emojis are up to interpretation. It's like the prayer one, them talking about it being like high fives. It's like, fuck out of here. That's a prayer one.
Oh, yeah, no. That's absolutely wrong. Like, if it's a mom sending it, no, I don't think the mom is being passive aggressive. Like, there's different
it's like when they
context,
put
obviously.
LOL in all caps and they definitely still think it means love out loud. They're just being moms. I get it. There's different context for everything. We say a lot of things as if they're definites and they're not.
We seem really passionate about things, but like, honestly, there's exceptions to every rule.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you watch He's Just Not That Into You?
My favorite rom-com. I have to watch it again. Wow. Blast from the past. Okay, anyway. Also, prior context before we watch this video, this episode is going to be 3 hours long because we cannot shut the fuck up. People say that Samantha looks like she's like seething here. And there's so many TikToks that I saw on my For You page where people were zooming into her face and literally suggesting that she was casting a spell on everyone. And that she was literally so upset. And I'll be honest, like she maybe looks a little bit like, oh, you guys are fucking annoying. But I didn't see the anger that everyone's seeing. Just, I want you to look out for it.
Is she the blonde one?
She's the blonde one, yes, the sister.
Okay, she is clasping her hands very tightly.
Okay, let's see.
Hey guys.
Hello.
You guys know that we started For the Mems, and it was inspired by our family's desire to always come together to create special memories, to coordinate, to match, and that all originated with Christmas morning.
And so that's when For the Mems was born, something that would be high quality that we could love, but also that you guys could love too.
Oh, sorry. Important thing to note that people were upset about is that you could issue like a refund for your product if you didn't like it, if you received it and you didn't like it. But the only way that you would be refunded is in store credit to buy more stuff from their site.
Convenient. Because you need 2 matching sets of pajamas for Christmas.
Like if you get a pajama set
year,
and you pay
next.
$98 and you see that it's not up to the quality that would be worth that price, you can't return it.
It's like, okay, if you did that at Target, which like they don't, I would be okay with that because like I always spend money at Target. But yeah, if all they sell is Christmas pajamas.
All I can buy is the other sets of Christmas pajamas. Perfect. Just what I wanted.
Really help me out.
Obviously, neither one of us has ever had any experience in the clothing industry.
When it comes to building a clothing line from the ground up, that specifically, I mean, I worked in retail, but
clothing line is generous.
Building,
They're saying that they were a part of every single aspect of it. And I don't want to take that away from them if that's true. It does seem white labeled
we're
to
involved
me.
in every aspect of making our merch. I wouldn't call it a clothing line.
And I just think that choosing designs and being like, this is the fit I want, this is the quality I want samples.
It doesn't
that's
make
not
you
a
a fashion
clothing
designer.
Line. Yeah, no, it doesn't.
line from the ground up, it is completely different.
We didn't have any experience in designing, producing, selling, especially when it comes from something from the ground up. And we are so thankful for everyone who has given us guidance on this, everyone who has supported us on this. It has been incredible.
You're using
But in all
comfort
honesty,
culture.
yesterday was another learning opportunity for us.
Absolutely.
Samantha and I cannot state enough about how proud we are of the quality of the pajamas that we are selling with For the Mems.
And we are so confident in the fact that everyone who has purchased one will absolutely love the quality of the product that they receive.
Yeah. We saw your guys' comments about being so excited for this drop, and we are so grateful for you being a part of the excitement with us. But then your disappointment of not being able to have it within reach. And that's why we wanted to reduce those prices.
We want to do this to make this more within reach for you, our community, because our community is what matters most to us.
Yeah. Something that Samantha and I value so much is authenticity when it comes to both of our social channels.
We very much value transparency and honesty with you. And in that spirit, we just want to let you guys know that we have lowered the prices to a point where even if we sell out every single item on the website, we will make zero profit on our investment into this.
If you're wondering if
they said they're going to be -$5 and you better be fucking happy about it.
Okay, that's insane.
Okay.
That's not what people are like.
No. But you want to know the craziest part? What do you think they were lowered to? That they would make zero profit on rayon and spandex or whatever the fuck the material
Well, do you want me to answer what I think they could have been lowered to or what they actually lowered them to?
What they actually were lowered to?
They're still at least $50.
75. Get the fuck out of here. You're not making profit. There's zero way. There's no chance.
Or you're getting robbed by your designer.
Literally, or who, yeah, that's exactly my thoughts. Or the people you're working with are scamming you. And the way that I know is like, we are trying to create quality merch. It's going to withstand. It's going to do all that shit, whatever. And it's not going to be $20 shirts. Like it can't be. And I get that.
If you were getting like a sweatshirt, like I feel like sweatshirts are like on average, like around like $65-ish.
Yeah, but they are thick.
That's
they keep
like,
you warm.
It's a
you
lot,
wear them a lot. Like it's different.
And you can wear them outside. Like
Yep.
you're wearing them out in public. And like, it's not a pair of pajamas that you can only wear on
it's
Christmas.
not just to be like, oh, you wear it more, so that's why it's more expensive. No, it's thicker. Like it actually costs them more to make. And if it's good quality and actually keeps you warm and all that stuff, and it's very comfy and it's soft, that's going to cost more. But this, I just feel like either they are lying about the profit thing or they are getting scammed by their manufacturer. There's only two options, in my opinion.
And regardless of what option it is, like the fact that they're telling everyone that to try and make it like, oh, we're not making any money. Like no one needs to know how much money you're making. But also,
exactly.
Come on. Now you're just trying to be like, oh, we're so nice. Look at what we're doing. We're taking the hit because we just want you guys to have Christmas pajamas. That's not why you made the Christmas pajamas. That doesn't make sense. Literally, they're doing like the equivalent, or at least with the shirts, the equivalent of going to one of those websites where it's just like, make a custom t-shirt. And you can just like put in your
spreadshirt. It's giving, fourth wall, all of that stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, which isn't bad, but also those aren't costing $98 for...
Just don't lie about it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like if people call you out and say, oh my God, $95 for rayon and spandex is ridiculous, then just don't lie about it and just like suck it up. And I want to see the unit cost because it's not $95. There's just no way.
See some profit margins.
we will be refunding your portion to the new price that is reflected on the website.
Yes. Aware of the risk that we are taking in doing this, and we are also aware that some people may even take more time out of their day to try to shame us from not doing this in the first place.
No, I blame you for not doing your research, and if that really is your profit margin, going with a manufacturer that scammed you and then therefore scammed your customers, because that's insane.
Well, and I'm just dying like, oh, we know this is a risk. No, the risk was selling $98 pajamas. Like, what do you mean? This is your damage control.
But I will say there are people who have ordered for the cause and they've been like, I want to see the quality. So hopefully we'll see some unboxings that we could share with you guys in the future and see if it lives up to the quality. But I would say just on the material alone, it'll probably feel like fine. Like it's not going to be like itchy or anything like that, but it's not
but it better
revolutionary.
feel more than fine if it's got
like I want it to like just like hug my body in a way that nothing has before.
Hey girlies, we have an update because there have indeed been some reviews. And you could say that both of them do not make the Bachman sisters look particularly good. Yeah, so first up we have Maggie, who has about 25,000 followers, so not a ton, but like enough that the Bachman sisters should maybe do some damage control. You could say she has some valid complaints.
If you're looking for an unbiased review of the For The Mems PJs, you came to the right place. I feel like I don't even have to say this, but obviously I bought these with my own money. It's a review of the PJs, not the people who made them. I actually don't follow them and I don't really know that much about them. So this is a PJ review, not an influencer making PJs review. I ordered them on Monday on the launch day and they arrived today instead of Tuesday, which is earlier than I expected. Based on how rushed their website looked, I was expecting this to come in just a plain gray poly mailer. So the custom packaging is a good sign. Now I ordered an extra large. I'm a size 14. There was no size chart on the website and there is not really a return policy. So hopefully these fit. I have no problem buying things that are kind of expensive as long as the quality is there and the experience is there. So to me, experience, custom packaging. They do have custom packaging, which is nice. Now, this does not automatically mean bad review. The custom packaging is nice. There's no invoice, no packing slip, no thank you note. And if you're buying something that costs maybe a little bit more than it should, I do expect there to be some sort of invoice or packing slip or thank you note. Let's see these pants. Okay, the material does feel like it would be comfortable, but it is actually very chic. And I ordered an extra large and they sent me the wrong size. They sent me an XXL. So first part of the review is bad because they sent me the wrong size. I checked this bag to see if the right size was on here and it's not. It says 3X on here and the pants are 2X. Let's see if we have the same problem with the shirt. This does say extra large. It is in fact an extra large. This does look like it would fit me. Same thing. It does feel nice, but it is quite sheer. And to be clear, you do not order these as separates. You order them together. So I ordered an extra large. I got 2X in the pants and an extra large in the top. But let's try them on. Only sizing info that I could find on these were that the pants ran long, but not too long. I'm 5'7", so I'm kind of tall. These run pretty long. Like, my foot is completely covered. I mean, granted, these are one size up that I normally wear, but I'm not against a 2X. The description was accurate saying the pants run long, but it was not accurate when it said not too long. PJs themselves feel decent. They are quite comfortable, but I cannot get over the fact that I paid $75 for pajamas. Sent the wrong size. There was no size chart. They're way too long for me, and I'm 5'7", and actually prefer a long length. This is like extra long. PJs are cute, but I literally just got them in, so I haven't washed them. I do plan to wash these, and I will update once that happens. We're supposed to lay these flat to dry. That's not really who I am as a person, especially when it comes to pajamas. These are the PJs. They are quite cute. They are comfortable, but I cannot get past the fact that I got the wrong size in the pants when you order it completely as a set. And the fact that there's no size chart on the website and the description does not say how long these pants are, because if someone was 5 feet tall and ordered these, they would be in big trouble because they are 7 inches shorter than me. But the verdict is that I would not spend $75 on these. And I'm not against investing money in quality pieces. Website, the wrong size, and the extremely long length of these would have me saying that no, I would not spend $75 on another pair of these.
At least she did get the order, because this next one didn't actually end up being a review because, they never were received. This one comes from a name you might recognize. Friend of the show, Gabby Egan. I say that with sarcasm. She's one of Janet's clients, and we've covered her a few times. Janet obviously has nothing to do with this, but you'll see why I brought it up in a moment. First off, Gabby seems like she's doing great, so kudos to her. But she basically ordered these pajamas because she saw them trending and was like, oh my God, I need to see, are these worth $98?
So I'm late to this whole pajama drama fiasco, okay? By the time I got here, the price had already been lowered to $75. They were $98, okay? Why did I buy a pair? Because I need to know. I myself have been talking to a few manufacturers to manufacture my own pajamas. And initially, I wanted to do bamboo pajamas, but if I wanted to do bamboo, it would be so fucking expensive, It would be considered like a luxury item, and I was like, I don't know if I want to sell pajamas that are that expensive, so they gave me a cheaper alternative. And lo and behold, to me, they are made out of the cheaper fabric, which is rayon. I'm invested. I've got to know, because whenever I did the math on how much I would have to sell them for, it was nowhere near $98.
I don't think the Bachman sisters thought the review would be too good for some reason. Can't imagine why. And they canceled the order.
For the memes, be fucking for real. Y'all were gonna get a review, but I posted my little video. You remember how last night we ordered this pajama set together? And we went over the fabrics, the materials, and I said I ordered it because I wanted to see if I thought that these were worth the $98 that they were originally priced at. Order number 1477 has been canceled because of unforeseen circumstances, and your payment has been refunded. So I'm like, maybe they ran out of stock. Maybe they're no longer selling the pajamas. That's why I got refunded. So I go to their website. Crazy. The size that I ordered in the set that I ordered is available on the website. Babe, y'all must not know me. I will order this again under a fake name to a different address. You will never know that it's me. I can do it in a different state. Bitch, I will get my hands on these pajamas. Why did you cancel my order? What, a paying customer can't order a product and review it? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? Y'all got me fucked up. Why was my order canceled whenever y'all got them in stock on the website, babe? Y'all will not see my order coming. But just know I'm gonna get my hands on these fucking pajamas. Yes, ma'am, I will. What, you didn't want somebody else with a platform to review this? That's crazy.
Yeah, it appears the Bachman sisters did not take PR 101 because I don't know how they thought that was going to go well. Spoiler alert, it didn't. If she posted that she was going to give the review, you think she's not going to post that you canceled the order when none of the stock is sold out because not that many people are buying $76 pajamas? All of it It's a choice. It's weird. So was making these pajamas, I guess. Anyway, in another great PR move, what do you think the Bachman sisters did to respond to this? Samantha, the angry one from earlier, she decided that she was going to comment publicly and then also DM Gabby.
So I place my own order, spend my own money. They cancel my order. Okay, I just wanted to give an honest review. I never said anything bad about the pajamas, never said that they looked bad. I ordered the set that I thought was the cutest. This is Samantha's response to everybody being pissed off that they canceled my order. We canceled one because we were informed the order was placed with intent to post a negative review regardless of the quality of the product. What? I said I was going to give an honest review. I'm so confused. It's defamation and malicious intent. Because I was reading off of your website what you said, the fabric, that's defamation. Babes, Google is free. Do you know what defamation is? Anyways, I'm just in shock. Like, I didn't say anything bad about these pajamas, other than that I thought that they were overpriced and I wanted to give a review and state my opinion. And even if I hated them and I said these suck, that wouldn't be defamation. That would be an opinion, which I don't think I would have hated them, to be quite fair. I saw the comment that I got tagged in first, but this was in my requests. Hey, I wanted to reach out personally, but the reason we canceled your order is because we were informed that you posted on Reddit, before you... What? I don't even have a Reddit. And that you intended to leave a bad review regardless of the quality, which is a crime and shows malicious intent to harm. Are you threatening me? Are you threatening me? If this information is incorrect, please let me know. No shade to you personally. I didn't even know who you were until this, just protecting ourselves, but wanted to give you the space to speak. Samantha, drop the screenshots, girl. Drop the screenshots of me on Reddit. Obviously, no, that wasn't me. I think that we both know that. I wasn't posting on Reddit saying that I was going to give you a bad review. Are you well? Are y'all well? No.
Okay, and don't get me wrong, I am 100% Team Gabby on this, but the reason I brought up Janet earlier is, like, Gabby, have you called your lawyer and made sure that she's not representing them? Because this is the most Janet-coded comment you could possibly write, and I find it so funny. As for what happened next, someone did comment on Gabby's next video that was unrelated and just said, okay, but did you respond to Samantha? I need to know what happens, please. And Gabby said, no, I ain't responding to that sort of crazy. Crying face, LMAO. And again, to that I say, what kind of crazy is that exactly? Because it feels familiar. Anyway, that's it for the update. Hope you enjoyed. I know I did. And if you were wondering on whether you should order the pajamas, I guess only do it if you have really long legs, want a size bigger, and you don't plan to make a negative review. Otherwise, go for it. Okay, bye.
Before we go any further, we have a word from our sponsor, ZocDoc.
If you don't know who ZocDoc is, you must be new here. But ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you and instantly book appointments with them online.
It's a great way to keep up with your doctor's appointments. It's nice because you don't have to talk to anyone on the phone. And it's also great because they can book you in like usually 24 to 72 hours, which comes in handy when you have emergencies, like when your tooth breaks and you need to get it fixed.
Hypothetically,
Yes, could happen.
And all of these doctors have verified reviews from actual real patients, which really helps when you're trying to find the right doctor. But you can also use their filters, which basically allow you to filter your insurance, location, the type of doctor you need. Even if you don't know what type of doctor you need, you could search by symptoms. It is super helpful.
So if you need to make a doctor's appointment, overdue or just on schedule, go to ZocDoc.com/DWKT and download the app for free. And then you can find and book a top-rated doctor today.
That's ZocDoc.com/DWKT, ZocDoc.com/DWKT. And thank you so much to ZocDoc for being an amazing sponsor of this podcast. Anyway, okay, moving on to Molly Rutter. Let's cover this lickety split because Molly Rutter, if there's one thing she could do, it's yap and yap more than we can, which is saying a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna, and yap too much. Like, get to the point, girly.
Yeah. Oh, also one thing. Okay, so there's two things that came out since we filmed our episode on her, and one didn't even come out after we filmed the episode on her. It was out already when we filmed, but I didn't want to cover it because she so vehemently said that she was against people sharing her dating profile pictures and said that that was like an invasion of privacy and she didn't. You remember that I sent you that text and I was like, oh, we can't talk about it?
No, I don't think that happened. But also sharing dating profile pictures is an invasion of privacy.
Okay, so yes, this has been a whole thing and I will show you a TikTok. Let me find it. But basically, the insinuation is that Molly Rutter, by the way, if you don't know who we're talking about, we had a whole episode on her. And I highly suggest you check it out because it was interesting and we get into her whole like, because her whole thing is that she's like a dating influencer. Is that what it would be considered? It's kind of like what I was when I was doing story times, but a lot more
She
unhinged.
just documents
Somehow.
her dating process, which is interesting.
Right. And so one thing that I chose not to cover during that period of time was that people had alleged that she was a catfish. People were showing her dating profile, which had been leaked. And essentially she uses very old photos. We'll take a look at it now. But she has been adamant about saying anybody who's sharing those are invading my privacy. Those were meant for people that I intend to date
on a public
and
profile.
Now you guys are trying to shame me and how I look. And I just use the pictures that I think I look most beautiful. And I actually saw someone that was like a life dating coach or something like that say that she like recommends that all her clients put a picture that's within the last 6 months. And 6 months is like pushing it and just being like, you need to keep it current because otherwise you are misleading people because people change. Like we all change.
I feel like I run into that. I mean, I haven't actually been going on dates, but I do. I will update my profile once in a while. And I, for like a while, years, I feel like wasn't really taking, like during COVID and then like my back was really bad. I just like wasn't doing things. And I used to do things where I was taking pictures all the time. And then I just like wasn't. And it's like, you don't want to post a bunch of selfies. I was running into the problem where I would have pictures and I'm like, do I look like that? Like, would that be misleading? Yeah, I'm like, would that be misleading? And so now anytime I do get new pictures, I put them in there because then I like can cycle out any older ones.
I think that it's fair to put up pictures that you feel most beautiful, most confident in. And I think that I even had older, quote unquote, pictures when I was dating, but I would say like I still had the same hair that I had. I still was the same weight that I was. Those things I feel like are important to just show because you don't want an asshole who like just is going off of looks and would judge you. Like you don't want to experience that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I would pick ones that I'm like, could I have taken that recently? Like, could I technically? I wouldn't. But like, could I lie to them and be like, that was this past year?
Right.
And if the answer is like, yeah, you could, then sure, I'll do it. But I would always try to update with newer pictures. The problem I have with her saying like, it's an invasion of privacy is like, what dating profile pictures are you using that like aren't already on your other social media?
At the end of the day, I'm not even trying to be nasty, but like a dating profile is public. It's public to the public.
Well, that's you're showing literal strangers. So it's like, it couldn't be that private.
Yeah. I mean, I would say her photos currently are not horribly off from what she looks like. I think that they've cycled recently. And I also think that there's some more that have been posted online that were further from the past that maybe don't reflect how she looks right now. Like the top comments here on these dating profile photos are like, this must have been a decade ago. These have to be multiple years ago. These photos that we're looking at right now, I don't see them as horrible.
No.
Like that looks like her.
Yeah.
I see the whole catfishing thing as really a non-issue. She gets more defensive of it, which I do believe does like the reverse effect on social media. It makes people want to talk about it more.
Yeah.
So she's being like, the only people I need to worry about my dating profile pictures are the people that I'm dating. And like, you guys need to get out of here and you're invading my privacy.
It just makes it seem like she has something to hide. Because again, like why would you aren't posting anything on your dating profile that you don't usually already have on your social media. You don't have like the secret arsenal of dating profile pictures you only use there.
So that catfishing thing, that happened. And then also she got called out kind of by multiple people for faking her dates. That's like the latest allegation is people think that did not happen. Give me things that never happened for $500, Alex. Yep. Thank you very much. Like that's the vibe. And I do get that. I think that a lot of the stories that she tells are outlandish and very, very bizarre. And it seems to happen to her regularly. However, as someone who had a dating storytime channel, I would say that I also went through my fair share of bizarre things. And that happened because I was going on so many dates. And a lot of those dates I was going on hoping for a story. So I do understand also when that is your main shtick, you are kind of not only insinuating or like hoping that it's going to happen, but you're also just going out with anybody. And that leaves you open to
that's what I was going to say. Because like, honestly, I would say I don't have a bunch of like crazy dating stories, but I'm also very picky and like I'm very selective with who I'm going on.
You go on like one date a year. It can't be that bad.
Exactly. Well, and it's like then I've like talked to the person a little bit first, and like I get I very much am weeding out
just
who
like
I want to go.
date.
Yeah,
let's
she's
see what
like
happens.
Someone asked me out, I'm going. Like if I went on a date with every guy that has ever asked me out, I definitely have some weird stories.
100%. I mean, men are interesting.
Weird. Yeah,
we could say. But anyway, so now we go into the crash out of Molly Rutter. That's what people have been describing it as. She's been posting a lot. And it has happened as a result of the election results, which I think, and I mean, I shared it in the last episode. I was devastated. On election result day, I can't even lie about it. And
and I don't think that was like an unpopular reaction from people.
But then at the same time, like, I can't trust my For You page too much. I was so convinced that Kamala would win that I literally remember saying the sentence out loud, like, the fact that people think Donald Trump is gonna win, like, that's fucking ridiculous. And then the next morning I woke up and I was like, my For You page was For Youing a little too close to the sun. Because what? I was living in an alternate reality. What?
I don't know if I was editing or like what if I was, I don't know, or packing maybe. I don't know. I was super busy and like not online the entire day. And I feel like it used to be like, oh, not online. What are you talking? Like I would be glancing every once in a while. No, like these days, I feel like when I say I'm not online, I literally like my phone's been
like
dead
we're
all day
glued
and
to the screen.
Yeah, like I'm genuinely not checking anything and I'm not on the internet. And that was the case. And I had a friend text me and they were like, I can't believe that this is happening. And I was like,
what's happening?
Literally, I was like, I'm gonna need you to be a little bit more specific.
No, I knew by the time I went to sleep. Obviously, it hadn't been announced yet, but I remember I texted my dad. I'll show the text. I said, is this asshole gonna win? Like, I literally, that was my text to him, and he goes, it looks like it. And that to me,
I found out at like 10
I was like,
p.m. that night.
What? So the whole point being, many people, especially people in groups that are minorities and a lot of women, we were hurt. We were scared. I still am hurt. I still am scared. I'm still confused. I'm still disturbed by the fact that it is a popular vote. And it was an overwhelming decision by the country. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot to process. It still is. But that's where Molly Rutter started. So she started posting TikToks election result day, which again, everyone was feeling like shit. That's why I can't get behind those creators that are like, who's been silent towards the election results? Because they definitely voted for Trump. And I'm like, no, they're like mourning?
Yeah, or it's like, just like, what is there to say? I kind of just am like shutting down.
Same, but also I just think it's so like, I don't think that's productive. I don't think it's healthy to assume that because someone didn't say anything. Like genuinely, I didn't want to say shit online for multiple days. I didn't even want to, thank God we didn't have to film a video. I said that, like I didn't want to. I felt not okay mentally. I didn't want to talk to anyone close to me. Like I literally was just like, everyone leave me alone.
We've made it pretty clear we are not Donald Trump fans here.
Well, I think people know that. Nobody accused us of like voting for him.
No, but in general,
also at the same time,
like a sentiment.
Yeah, it's been a sentiment. It's like, oh, you didn't say anything. You must have voted for him, or they're mourning. You know, it could be either or. Anyway, so Molly Rutter was like, I am mourning, but I shall post on TikTok, and we're gonna have to take out the Billie Eilish song, but like the Barbie, what was I made for? That's the song. I know it's a great song. It does seem a little bit interesting to put. Yeah, it's a little dramatic to put in this context, but like I think she was actually obviously hurt by, I mean, she lives in New York. It's a super progressive state, so I'm not surprised by her views. But anyway, this was her initial video leaning into politics, you could say, because she hasn't touched it before this.
I'm so angry. I was really hoping that all the anxiety I was feeling over the past few days would have been worth it. What a privilege it is to live in a country where you have bodily autonomy, where you have the right to vote. What a privilege. I was watching a video before that said, this is not our lesson to learn. This is a lesson for so many others to learn at our expense. And all I gotta say, if at any point in the past 24 hours you have commented on my TikTok complaining about your opinion about my catfishing dating profile, like seriously, all I can say is we are very different types of people. Because if you have the mental capacity to care about a TikToker's dating profile photos, if that's something that has space to occupy your brain,
Look, girl, you better hope that they have that space to occupy their brain, because that's how you have money. Like, I get that, yeah, there's a lot going on in the world and people shouldn't be, like, that's stupid in comparison, but like, come on.
I mean, we got probably shitty comments during the fucking election results too.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably just how the world
like,
works. People continue to comment things.
That's the thing. It's giving like when something bad happens and someone says they're sorry about that, and it's like, well, what about this? And it's like, okay.
It's whataboutism, 100%. And it is also her doing the ever so delicate tie into herself, which she does so well. And believe me, it just continues from here. To the average viewer, maybe I'm wrong, but to me personally, I'll see something like this and I can relate to her feelings of the election in general, obviously. But then at the same time, it feels a little blame shifty. And it just feels like...
It seems a little manipulative that she's trying to like be like, okay, well, you can't be mean to me because that means you're a bad person. Not because you're being mean to me, but it's because how could you think of that when there's so much going on in the world? It's like, well, people have time for a lot of things.
We were thinking it before.
Yeah.
And like we could also, like, I just think it's not super in touch, but it gets worse.
The first thing I noticed when this started is that she had set the phone up and started filming and then walked away and then walked into the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I tend to just like filter those things out of my brain.
Oh, that's like my brain is immediately like, okay, this was planned.
Yeah.
This has had a permanent effect on how I will use this platform. I can already tell. I've never been more passionate about being involved in politics in my life.
I find it interesting that as a white woman, she's saying that considering 2020.
Yeah.
That seems like...
I would agree.
Like, I literally just wanted to learn. I met a lot of people in my community. I met a lot of friends that way. What do you mean this is the most... I mean, I get it. Like, everyone's disappointed, but...
I wouldn't say it's why I, like, was broke and not making any money and had to, like, refigure out my life. But that was, like, definitely, like, I stopped posting because I was like, you know what? Not the time. Read the room. And also then devoted, like, all my time to, like, learning and doing, like, I don't know. This feels
you hyperfixate, and you did with that. Yeah. And I mean, I think
sure.
a lot of people did, and I definitely felt not okay just going on with normal content. I felt the same exact way.
It's not even to say that, like, she might not actually literally mean that. Maybe she's just, like, saying that because it's, like, all the feelings
That's quite a statement
right now.
to say, but yeah.
I don't think that that's the case. But I don't know. I just feel like it's very clear that she's using this as an opportunistic way to, like, get people to stop hating on her.
Oh, interesting that you say that.
Like, that she's kind of, like, capitalizing on the buzz around everything just to be like,
yeah, we get to that in a second. But she directly, like I said, addresses how this affects her dating life in particular.
Meanwhile, saying that, like, talking about how, like, the world is affected by everything going on, but then it's like, but also me.
I care now because now women in general are included in the conversation, and I care now. But before, not so much.
Very symbolic, wasn't it? Maybe you wanted a dating update as like a tiny little escape from what's going on right now. But all I can tell you is that I've never felt like straight men were more inconsequential ever in my life. I have never felt less about dating, and especially about dating straight men.
I'm sorry, but Roe v. Wade was overturned when? Long time ago at this point.
Like, I get that.
I get
like,
what she's saying. But
yeah,
like, how do you stay out of touch for so long?
One, how do you literally have an entire profile dedicated to dating and have that be your whole thing and then just suddenly be like, ew, straight men? And it's like, okay.
What bothers me about this is that, like, I personally, like, yes, I have passionate feelings about politics and I have strong feelings about politics and I hash it out with my own fucking family, okay? And I will do it any day of the week. Don't even try me. But that being said, I don't feel like it's beneficial for me to bring it online on a regular basis. That doesn't do well for anybody. I don't think it does well for me mentally. And I also don't think that I am a poised enough, well-constructed enough individual to relay those thoughts in a way that they deserve to be relayed. So I don't on a regular basis. However, most of you know where we stand, right? Great. This is giving like, I didn't know this was happening. What do you mean? I make it very clear, like, I love my husband. I love all the men in my life. I make it very clear. You are the exception, not the rule. You're not the rule. And I've said that straight to the face of men that I love. And I'm like, your species is a danger to my kind. Okay? That is just the way it is.
Like, I am not like, oh my God, men, like I need to go. No, obviously, I haven't been on a date. I don't even know how long.
We call the men that follow this channel girlies. Okay, that's
literally. I'm just like, yeah, I don't think all men are terrible, but it's like, I don't know. She's kind of just like suddenly like being like, no. And it's like, you literally went on a date yesterday, probably.
I think the cluelessness and then being like, now I care is what really pissed people off. It was just like, well, you should have cared before.
It's just really inauthentic. I feel like it's not true.
Yeah.
And she's literally, again, just capitalizing on all of this to be like, this is how I'm going to skew it for my audience.
100%.
And act like she doesn't care.
That's how I feel too.
Yeah.
If you think right now I'm going to come on here and just like give you a dating recap of my latest date with a guy,
which she still went on.
She's like, which was last night.
Yeah.
What my platform once was is no more. It will never be the same. Something
Now
that I
she'll be
keep
dating
repeating
women.
in my head right now is that there's no room in my life anymore for straight men meeting the bare minimum.
There was before.
If a straight man wants to enter my life, if a straight man wants to be in the sphere of my existence, there has to be overcompensation.
You already had that requirement, if I remember.
I was going to say, you have pretty high standards before.
She literally was like, if you make a mistake, get on your knees, you absolute little dipshit. And it's like, okay, I think that's a decent, like, I think we're fine.
There's a lot of mixed signals here and like a lot of conflicting ideas.
And it's all giving bullshit.
Yeah.
The straight men welcome in my sphere in my life right now are the ones who are overcompensating. The ones who have empathy oozing out of their pores like sweat on a humid day. It's only overcompensation.
Too less.
One thing you can count on Molly for, it's going to be too much every single time. Every time.
Like, again, she planned this just like she planned her walk-in.
Compensation is going to be accepted from what I'm currently feeling and experiencing, as are thousands of human beings in this country right now. Something I'm also repeating in my head a lot is something really powerful that me and my counselor talked about a lot. And it's the power of doing something out of spite. Right?
What? No.
I don't know. I'm scared.
Can you clarify?
The fight or flight in me, the flight is there. The desire to flee is there. But I would say the feeling to fight is stronger right now, which is cool. I'm happy about that.
I'm lost.
I don't know what to say. Okay, moving on, because that was a lot. She talks about a dating update and says that she won't be dating straight men, but will vlog if and when she decides to date women.
If and when? I'm sorry. She's just like gonna convert to lesbianism? Like,
it's just something you could choose, they say, I suppose.
Jesus
I feel like
Christ.
this is slowly turning to the other side, ironically.
Like, I was kidding when I said she's gonna only date women. But like,
all right, do you want an update on how I'm feeling, how I'm doing, and what I'm doing?
No.
So I would first and foremost say that pretty much my entire waking hours right now, with the exception of when I know I need to drink water and consume food and
must be nice
take my
to remember
dogs
that.
out,
I don't.
I've been obsessively consuming content related to this election and the state of our country right now. I've never felt as though my TikTok shop videos and my dating updates and my day in the life vlogs, I've never in my life felt like that type of content was more trivial than I do right now.
Oh, well, because that's literally why I stopped posting content in 2020.
What if I told you that after saying this, she did a TikTok shop video for a Christmas tree?
Shut the fuck up.
I swear.
Literally, when you pointed out the 2020 thing, it's like, yeah, but maybe she's just kind of like not thinking about. No, this is absurd. Like, literally, as someone who genuinely stopped posting because I was like, you know what? The state of the world right now, I don't think that my drunk college story times are really
holding a lot of weight here.
Yeah. And it just felt weird to do. I don't even think, looking back, I'm like, I shouldn't have just stopped uploading because a lot of people do look for stuff for an escape. And like, I know that people watched our last few podcast episodes when stuff was like dark and they were like, oh, thank God I had something to turn my attention to. Also, I feel like I know one of the reasons I didn't feel comfortable filming because I just felt bad.
I get that.
She doesn't feel uncomfortable filming. She's still doing it
she's
right
filming.
now.
She's filming a lot. No.
Yeah.
She's got that part down pat.
Yeah.
And I've also never felt more of a desire to not post that kind of content and to instead focus on the reality of the country that I'm currently living in. And the fact of the matter is, my brain is spinning with ideas and plans to use my platform for educational
I hope it's gonna
purposes.
Be more than you
I've
just
decided
like
that I'm for sure
like
going to start doing a Molly Gets Political series on here where I share resources, organizations I'm getting involved with, ways I'm advocating, things
I give it a month before that series disappears into the
Well,
abyss,
I'm like,
just saying.
and there's nothing wrong with
Just
that. That's
saying.
great. But I don't think it's also smart, just like it wasn't smart for me to just stop uploading in general. I don't think it's smart to just like totally abandon everything you were doing and suddenly be a political commentator when also if this is the vibe that you're giving so far, you don't even have that much to say.
I think that's fair, yeah.
Educate and gain more knowledge myself. Some plans that I have currently in my mind. The moment I get paid next week, I'm going to buy
Paid from what?
many Plan Bs.
You're gonna buy what? A lot of Plan Bs?
Many Plan Bs.
Go to my local library. I'm going to check out books so that I can learn more about the real history behind the United States of America. I'm going to read more books about how our government works and is run.
Okay, there's a judicial branch, an executive branch, and a legislative branch.
Schoolhouse Rock?
No, I don't know what she knows.
So no, the thing is like I get what she's saying because like for example in 2020 like I did a lot of research and looked into stuff about like Black history specifically because the school system, at least
It's
the one I was
whitewashed.
in,
I get it. Yeah.
we didn't learn anything. It's like Martin Luther King, racism's over. Okay, class dismissed.
Christopher Columbus is an awesome friend. Like,
and they all
yeah,
held
same.
hands and ate
That's what I learned.
mashed potatoes. Yeah, no, I get that
Not the
there's
mashed
a lot
potatoes.
that they don't teach in the American school system. So yeah, I don't doubt that there's a lot to learn.
I want to learn a lot more about economics. I also want to consume literature that's written by marginalized groups. I'm specifically thinking in my head Black women. I'm also thinking about Black women in terms of...
I'm not laughing because I think that's funny to want to do. I'm just saying like...
It feels crazy that it's
where
like
have you
she's
been?
acting like this is all suddenly happening. Yeah.
You had to have been just asleep in 2020. That's just all I keep thinking of. And I'm like, how do you now just want to reach out to marginalized groups or understand their point of view? That's what everybody's been trying to do now. I mean, not everybody, obviously, but I think that Molly in general just has a way with words that make it seem like, okay, Molly, it's all about you. Got it. Like, you're just figuring it out and we're just here to support you during it. You know,
And
people
that
are
she's
obviously
like
going to
such a
call you out
martyr
the fact
to
that
be
you're
doing it too.
Exactly. People are now supposed to just applaud you for literally just deciding, oh, maybe I should listen to Black women. Like, that's my instinct, actually, because they tend to know what the fuck is going on.
Why are you telling us all of this? Like,
well, that's her whole new series. Molly
because
Gets
she wants
Political.
people to like pat her on the back. Exactly.
Yep.
I get wanting to share if you have knowledge that you think would help people and you think you could reach people in a certain way. Sure. But it's like this, like talking about it so much also, I'm like, come back when you do it though.
So this next TikTok is in response to a comment that says, girl, stop. You did not post a single political video prior to the vote. Just say that man ghosted you after your date like everyone said and move along. A bit harsh. Okay, but this is Molly's response.
You are correct.
Oh, not that you were correct.
You are absolutely correct. I have never up until now posted a political video, and that will now be permanently changing. That is correct. That is correct. I don't really know how else to elaborate. This is the most passionate I've ever felt about politics in my life. And I am physically incapable, it feels. Like this feeling inside me is so strong that I feel physically incapable of posting about anything else right now. And I'm not saying that I won't ever go back to other content. I don't know, because I have no desire to date men right now at all.
Only women.
Maybe when I start exploring dating again, it'll be exclusively with women, and then I'll post about that journey, which I think could be really positive for me. But as of right now, the last thing I feel like doing at all is giving attention to some guy I went on one date with who ghosted me. I'm actually not going to talk about that on here because...
He did ghost
Wait, also, has she ever dated women?
I don't
like
know.
Was it like she like tended to veer more towards guys, but she did date women? Because I feel like I've only seen men.
I don't know the answer to that question. It could have been something we missed.
Not to say that she couldn't be bi or want to date women, but it seems like this being like, I'm going to exclusively date women when you've literally been like exclusively dating men. It seems a bit weird.
It seems like an interesting pivot. She responds to this comment here that says, it's so funny how during the campaigns and election, you never once decided to speak up for the women you say you care so much about. Instead, you pulled a gross prank about domestic violence. Oop. That is true. We did cover that.
This is a very important point you bring up, so I will address it. Yes, it is true. At Halloween time, I made content that wrongfully and disrespectfully portrayed me as being a victim of domestic violence. And...
Ma'am, there's a Armageddon? What is that word? Behind you.
You could refilm.
Mama, sirens behind you. I need you to double check that.
One take, we're doing it live.
It was someone that I have created videos where I have taken accountability and apologized for. A lot of people don't accept.
That's because you didn't take accountability.
You didn't apologize.
Yeah,
that was one of our
no.
criticisms. Yeah, you literally did not
She
say
said-
I'm sorry once. You said that was not my intention.
It was like, I'm sorry you felt bad.
Yeah, it was definitely
But-
not an I'm sorry or I apologize for worrying you, etc. She didn't do that. That's a lie.
It was also like, I realize how it could have been misconstrued. And it's like, could have been misconstrued. Ma'am, you literally tried to.
Literally,
It was
yeah.
intentional.
Or my accountability that I've taken, and that's okay. That's their right. The
Gaslighting?
people that I hurt and disrespected by making that video, I accept and take responsibility for that. And those people don't have to forgive me or accept my apology. The fact of the matter is, I did take accountability for what I did, and I still do, and I apologize for it. I apologize again for it right now. And
she is so full of, I'm sorry, you're so full of it. You literally did not say you're sorry. Roll back the fucking clip.
I want to get on here and address the recent videos I posted and have since taken down. For some context, I went to a haunted house to film content and dress up with a makeup look that was spooky, Halloween inspired to match the theme of this zombie date experience. That said,
that means it was not a date. There was no guy. You were going to make content. Oh my God, this is unreal.
No shade to the makeup artist, but that wasn't giving zombie. That was just giving like someone who got abused.
Zombies aren't beat up.
Yeah, like where's the like fucked up undead makeup?
To say that a cut lip and a black eye is zombie makeup is objectively wrong.
Yeah.
I've read your comments and I understand that there were people who felt that my makeup look, which included a black eye and a busted lip, was highlighting domestic violence and physical abuse, which was absolutely not my intention at all. I always act under the premise that even people with good intentions, their actions and their behaviors and their words can have unintended negative consequences on others. I do not feel it would be right to profit off of content that highlights something as serious as domestic violence and physical abuse. And so that is why I have
until people
those
said
videos.
something.
For those who don't know me, or maybe you haven't been following me very long, I absolutely love Halloween. It's a big part of who I am. Everything from dressing up to going to haunted houses. I'm just a huge lover of anything Halloween and fall, which is why I even went forward to make this content in the first place. I'm always open to learning and growing. And so I do appreciate so many of you bringing this to my attention. And I sincerely hope to continue to create on this platform in a way that is positive and respectful.
You are willing to throw all of that out the window for a free tour of a haunted house?
Well, the thing is, you missed the apology where you're like, fuck, you guys genuinely sat there for hours and hours and hours until I updated you, just worried about my well-being. And that was on me.
And it was intentional.
Yeah. That's so upsetting, especially when you do something that egregious.
Well, and when it was literally like the caption for that video was like, don't worry, I'm fine. So
yeah. No, you wanted to worry your audience. That was part of the shtick.
You knew that people would think that that's what it was.
Exactly. So this is in response to someone commenting, Molly, no, I'm begging you. Please don't stop. I look forward to your content. I'm super depressed and feel lost, and watching your videos make me feel better. Love you, girl.
Her content is an interesting avenue to go for when
what
you're
an outlet, am I right? Yeah, no, seriously.
But I do want to just a quick side note that I'm very impressed by your contacts. That's very small font.
Thank you. Life has changed, and I will have no more bingo cards where if Jessi mentions her astigmatism, you get to cross it out. Well, fucking too bad you don't get to cross that one out anymore.
You did mention it a lot.
Oh, is it just if I mention it is the thing? Oh, well, I'll mention it.
It's not that you had it.
Oh, true. Well, it'll take me a bit to get used to, but I well, this corrects my astigmatism, so I no longer have the astigmatism when I'm wearing these, allegedly. Anyway, okay, let's see Molly's response, you fucking bullies.
I completely hear you on this. And this is something that's very heavily weighing on my mind right now as well. Because I know that even though I've been obsessively consuming content related to this election ever since the results came out, I would say that I also have still watched funny cat videos and, you know...
Didn't she say that she exclusively is all watching election content? I get that that's an exaggeration, but like...
Exclusively only seeing election content is what she said?
Only watching. She said that all she's been doing is watching election content, and that's it. And now she's like, well, no, but I have been watching.
What is the term for that?
videos.
Hyperbole or like exaggeration, or what is the term?
Yeah, like, that's, I get that she wasn't being totally literal, but like also it seems like now it's like, well,
it's just
of course now she's
the thing is
like,
that you have to understand, like I hold, for instance, my beliefs year round, doesn't matter when, election, not election. I'm always going to believe the things that I believe, and I believe them very fervently, strongly. She
seems to be very
she seems to be
influenced by just what's
capitalizing
going
off
on.
of this is what it feels like. She seems to be wanting some pat on the shoulder. She seems to be wanting some props. I just think that this seems a little bit performative.
She just seemed like she was trying to relate to everyone that's upset about the election by saying all she's thinking about is the election. But now when someone's like, oh, I need some escape from the election, she's like, well, no, me too. Like, I've been watching cat videos.
Exactly.
And it's like, okay, well, have you though?
I just feel like she's always shifting in order to, I don't know. I don't even know what her goal is. Molly Rutter is an anomaly to me.
Well, it's funny you say goal because she's always moving the goalpost for the men she's dating.
Yes.
And now it seems like she does that in all aspects.
Engaged in things that allowed me to escape, allowed me to feel joy. And so I completely understand that my content has been a source of comfort, a source of joy, a source of entertainment for so many people. And that being said, just because I know I'm going to speak on politics now more than I ever have, it doesn't mean I'm going to completely stop my own content, right? It's just right now it's all super fresh that I can't just like open my TikTok shop boxes and promote products to you guys right now. You know, I'm not on the dating apps right now. I have no interest in going on dates. So like
she's like, I am on the apps. I just haven't opened them. It's like, you're still there, Molly.
I just can't with the TikTok shop thing too. Cause also I'm like, girl, people aren't begging you to sell them stuff. Like
literally. But apparently, skipping forward a little bit, she swears she's not being performative. Someone leaves a comment and says the translation is that she decided to talk about it because it's a popular thing to talk about now and thinks it will get her engagement. Performative as fuck. And this was her response.
I'm not gonna lie, it does seem like this is, again, I said earlier, an opportunistic pivot perhaps that could also be fueled by the fact that she's getting a lot of hate recently.
Yes.
And she's like, shit, how do I get a little out of the dating thing?
And it's not even gaining the masses because obviously we lost the popular vote, so that's great. But gaining the masses of the audience she believes she has.
Well, and exactly, which she thinks is a bunch of women. And then she just wants to capitalize on what she already has.
Yeah.
I don't blame anyone at all for having this opinion of me.
Why does she talk like every teacher that's made me hate my life before? That's just a side note. She was a teacher, you know that, right?
No, but that makes sense.
Like, Ray, like, this is why we're talking like this, right? You fucking idiots, right? Okay, got it.
She's really condescending, it feels like.
Very.
And it's always just kind of
pompous,
like
condescending, talking down
a
to you.
little patronizing. Yeah. Like, I get why you would think that, but
that's obviously not what I meant because you're a fucking moron.
Yeah. And I'm just evolved in
the fact that I'm a public influencer on TikTok. There's always going to be a certain extent that what I post is going to seem or actually be performative. That is always the case. And you don't have to believe me for me to know that my actions and my behaviors now are real. They're not just for attention online. I just think that I would be doing myself and the people of this country a disservice if I did not start to use my platform for good.
No.
Molly Rutter, you are not the savior we asked for. It wasn't you. I think I ordered one, but it just didn't. It wasn't you.
Yeah, no, this is getting just nauseating, honestly.
That's like the whole thing is like her just being like, it's me. I'm here to talk about politics. You're welcome.
Exactly. She's like, finally, I'm going to be the change we need to see in the world.
You know what I love about this, though? It's such a good example as to why many influencers don't need to speak on politics. Ourselves included. I would include ourselves on that. I form 2 cohesive sentences a week maximum
that are still edited together.
Literally, it behooves us, right? Period. Or no?
Oh, big word.
Okay, yeah. It behooves us to understand what we're capable of and not capable of, and what's actually beneficial to people and not.
And what I said earlier is like, there's circumstances in which, yes, if you have information that you think is going to be beneficial to your audience, that you can share, that you think you can offer something. Yeah. Do I think that Molly has a ton to offer in this situation? Up for debate, I guess, to be seen, because she still has to go to the library and read. But it just feels like, again, come back when you have the information. Right. I don't need to hear more about how you're going to do it.
We're just going to skip past situations like her comparing herself to Drew Afwalo, which is fun.
Oh!
Yeah, you know, that could just zoom right past us, honestly. But let's go to her TikTok shop video.
Oh, please. The Christmas tree.
The world might not feel too bright right now, but I got a Christmas tree in the mail from TikTok shop. I think my soul needs it.
Oh, Christmas tree.
Not the copyright music. Hold on. Let me mute this. It's her setting up a TikTok shop tree. Merry Christmas.
can't.
It looks like shit. Why does it start so late? Why is it so, like, why is the bottom so long?
Is it on a table?
Why has it got an elongated torso?
Why is it so high up?
Literally, I'm so confused. It's like long on the bottom. And it's not even us like trying to relate certain situations. She literally was like, that TikTok shop bullshit. Like, I can't do that.
I would have nothing to say about it if she didn't literally just like act like posting a TikTok shop would be like murdering a baby.
Oh, she does a podcast, I think, but it's not a podcast. And literally the ongoing joke has been like, can you get better audio? And then every time she tries like a new shitty TikTok shop microphone or something, it's like worse audio. And people are like, no, like this is horrible. Like, what are you doing? So it's like elongated. I don't know if it's like YouTube videos. It probably is, because it says episode 8 is live. So that seems like a podcast, right? Anyway, okay, Molly Rutter has something to say. Let's all pipe down. She needs to speak, people.
Of course, I was petrified, out of my mind. I was like, what on earth am I doing? Only the day after this god-awful election, when I've had some drinks in me, would I be willing to do something like this, okay? And I was like, no way. I was mind blown. For a decade, I was carrying this subconscious shame because of what one man said to me. Don't let a mediocre man tell you that you're weird or ugly or somehow abnormal. I am just so happy and grateful for that power shift in my life. And I think it was so profound that I experienced that the day after this devastating election. Let the record be known that Donald Trump has been elected to be the next president of the United States, a convicted sex offender.
Thank you for telling us, Molly.
And felon. He is going to...
I know, Molly.
For the record.
That's why I was sad.
Yeah, no, the records have already told us.
Here on this platform, giving you a story.
She is the record.
The day after I found that out, I took power away from a man and gave it to myself.
Huh?
And I think that is fucking beautiful.
I'm alarmed.
What?
Okay.
No specifics. I guess we have to go watch the full episode. No thanks.
You know what's crazy about that is like every woman that I know personally. Like,
I was just going to say, raise your hand if you've been called weird by a guy.
Literally, if you've been harassed by a man, everybody put up fucking 2 hands. Everybody has 2 hands up.
She's acting like
she is the martyr.
Yeah, I was going to say, this doesn't take away from anyone's individual experience.
No.
But like, stop acting like you have these insanely unique incidents that happen to you.
Even though like maybe she means for them to be anecdotal and beneficial to the conversation as a whole, every take that she has is very much like, spotlights on me, okay? Because this is really hard.
You also, though, expect that she's going to say something like really traumatizing or something really, and it's like, she never really does.
She never really does. And then also,
he called me love.
In the words of Leah from Love Island, okay? When she was in a fight and she said to Liv, she was like, it's giving white woman scared. Like, what are you even on about right now? Is basically the conversation. Is like, why is it all about like you being in pain right now? When everyone's in fucking pain.
Well, and that like part of the whole thing is like our daily lives. I mean, yes, there's the reproductive rights. A lot of
I went through a whole fucking rabbit hole, and it just like, it genuinely ruined me. And I even had to go back and forth too about like posting about it, because I did research on the actual surgical procedure that I got done with my second pregnancy. That was a DNC, but it was considered on file. Like I have it on record as a missed abortion. And they were illegal up until October 1st when a judge ruled that it was unconstitutional, basically in Georgia, to implement the heartbeat law. And I didn't even know, like I knew that, but I also was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like I couldn't have the same procedure, but my body didn't know I was miscarrying. What do you mean? But I didn't. Because number one, I really was experiencing a lot of mental like situations and feelings, and I still am. But ultimately, I was like, what am I going to be adding to the conversation other than like a lot of pain? And I just, it was too much for me. And I just feel like Molly doesn't question herself. She just like spews. That's what she does on the internet.
Well, and then also, while women, yes, are more affected in this current political climate, just because of all the reproductive rights and all that stuff. It's very hot here. Being a like middle to upper class white woman, you're not experiencing half of the things that so many other marginalized communities
have been experiencing forever.
Exactly. And she acts like she's getting the worst of it.
And she's just like, well, now I get it. And it's like, okay, well, we're not going to be here to be like, good job, girlfriend, like slay on, queen.
Also, though, like it doesn't seem like she gets what other people are scared about. It's all just about her.
There is so much shit that's been going on and has been going on. Like Roe v. Wade being overturned ruined me. Like I was absolutely in shambles. That happened a while ago. And it just seems like her pretending like, well, now I care. And like, but I have the right to care. And it's so hard on me. Okay, great. But speak into the abyss, girl, because I don't have the patience to like walk you through this or like go through these emotions with you because we've all been experiencing them for a long time now.
Well, and also I just wonder if she like actually is concerned about stuff or if she's just like feeding into what other people are concerned about and then like pretending like
I know.
I don't know.
It's hard to gauge her actual genuineness because like literally this last link that we're gonna watch, it says Molly gets political, but first my cameos are marked down. And it's like,
who the fuck is paying for cameos from Molly Rutter?
Me buying one for you for Christmas.
I would love that. No, but it's like I would say that about people buying it of us too. I'm like, no.
I know. Let's watch this though, because I do want to see her say it.
All right, so this week's theme for Molly Gets Political is that knowledge is power.
Me.
Okay? No matter what anyone takes away from you, no one can ever take away. First thing, I'm
gone to the library yet?
Put my cameos at a discount for the next, let's do it for the rest of the week.
Yeah, let's
the
go
rest
crazy.
of the week. So from now until Friday, all my cameos will be 50% off, so $10. And if you purchase a cameo from me, I'm going to donate all of the money that I make from it to Burning Books Buffalo.
So maybe $10. Then don't discount it. What the fuck? Am I dumb? What do you mean? She's like, I'm going to reduce this by 50% and then the reduced profit is going to be given to Books by Buffalo. She just seems so into everything she says. Like you could see every TikTok she makes, she's like, yeah. Like, period. Like, that's what it seems like. Just the vibe.
I'm like, did we watch back the same?
She did. And she said slay on queen.
Okay, got it.
Okay, we love the internet. We're done with Molly. Surprise. Surprise! We're done with Molly. We've been filming for 5 hours.
What if I whipped out my phone and play a cameo from her for my We Love the Internet?
Well, I'll just say, hope you ask Santa for that, because that may be what he's given you. Actually, I have a few ideas for your Christmas.
I don't want any gifts from straight white men.
I'm not a straight white man.
From Santa.
Oh, you know that Amelie actually recently, because she's like into the Santa cartoons and stuff. She gets into really every holiday. Halloween.
She did love Santa during the Rock.
Dude, she was, yeah, exactly. She was watching Santa and then she looked at me and she goes, Mommy, are you Santa? And I was like, that's a loaded question. I wasn't prepared for this so soon. But she was just like acting.
No.
But she was just like asking if I was in character. And I was just like, wow, she's a sharp one. I feel like she's going to know. Like I knew by age like 10, but she's going to know by age like 4. Max.
I knew before that. I think it was like 7.
In the vein, in the sake of the sake, too much rosé.
What are you saying?
In the realm of possibilities. Since we've been talking about political stuff is what I was trying to say. I am going to include an Elon Musk related one.
Oh God, I hate him so much.
I hate him so much, but luckily we don't have to see him for this one. And it's not the one where they trace out his body and then compare it to the blueprint of the Cybertruck. That one was great. I did like that.
That sounds funny. I did see one recently where it was like, you wonder why Elon Musk only posts AI photos of himself. And it was a comparison of like a side profile of him. And I don't know if it was real, but it was
someone in the comments said that he was built like an autopsy. And I just, I am ashamed to say it made sense in my brain. Anyway, okay, here's my We Love the Internet.
Elon motherfucking Musk! I just paid an Etsy witch $7.99 to make your life a living hell. Brace yourself.
The way I immediately wanted to find out who this witch was and how I could contact her. Because I was like, I am all for that. And if all of us spend $7.99, I think we can make a big difference, is what I'm trying to say. The top comment says supporting small business. I just love the internet. Sometimes, we find a lot of humor in coping. So I appreciate that.
Okay, I have a really short one.
Is it an animal one?
It is, obviously.
Period. Okay.
It's a man that travels across the world with his 3 cats.
That sounds complicated, actually.
Not for him.
Okay. That's not Jasmine, is all I'll say. Jasmine would have been out fucking booked and busy.
Look at them. They're just sunbathing. They're boating. They're.
I didn't know cats like that exist.
They're just loving life.
My gosh.
Just a man and his 3 besties.
Oh my God. I'm shocked.
They kind of look simultaneously thrilled and miserable at the same time.
No, but they're trained. They're fully. Oh no, they're fully on board to travel. Like Jasmine would be fucking some random Italian cat in the corner.
Honestly, all I can think is like, does his back hurt? That's a lot of, oh my God.
No, he knows what he's doing. Like, to have even that carrier open, whenever I brought Jasmine on a flight, because I absolutely had to because we were moving, she would like bite the inside of the net to try to get out. I was like, you bitch, if I let you out, you'd be fucking trying to book it.
Oh my God, and they love all the people. Oh my God, I just love
that
it.
Is
it's perfect.
I didn't even know that was possible. That's so beautiful. Okay,
You're
well,
welcome.
this has been such a long fucking episode, so we will end it there. But if you have made it to the end, we appreciate you very much. And as always, we hope you have a beautiful week, and we will see you on Friday. Bye.
Cheers.